This is my skin without the Glossier Stretch Foundation, and this is my skin with the Glossier Stretch Foundation. The moment is finally here. I'm going to be letting you know if the new Glossier Stretch Fluid Foundation works on my acne-prone textured oily skin and if it would be considered acne safe. If you're new to my reviews, I always break down my foundation videos into a few different timestamps. So first, I'm going to go into the claims of this product, then let you know the shade that fits me best, and of course, I'll show you what it's like to apply it onto my skin with their new Stretch Fluid Foundation brush. I'll also show you how it wears throughout the day, and then finally my rating on the foundation and if I think it works on my skin type and how it compares to my absolute favorite foundations. Hi, I'm just popping in to let you know that these products were sent to me in PR from Glossier, but I am not sponsored by them, and as always, I will give you my full and honest review. So on the Glossier website, it's described as an 89% skincare-based gel cream foundation that leaves skin looking moisturized with a natural to you finish. It's formulated to fuse with your skin to blend seamlessly and wear up to 12 hours. The major claims is that it's lightweight, light to medium buildable coverage, flexible, which means it looks like skin and allows your skin to breathe, and hydrated looking skin. Key ingredients are squalane, glycerin, wild roseberry, plankton extract, amino acid, coated pigments. All in all, this foundation is really just supposed to feel and look like you, which is like Glossier's entire brand. It reminds me of the marketing of their Glossier You perfume. It does come in 32 shades, and I'll tell you right off the bat, I honestly think their shade range is pretty good. They have some really light shades and then some really deep shades. In terms of it being acne safe, I did use an app and inputted the ingredients, and unfortunately, and this is probably why they didn't market it as non-comedogenic, there is apparently 2 comedogenic possibly ingredients in here that could cause you to break out or clog your pores. So just keep that in mind if you do have acne prone skin. I have been wearing this for about a month and I haven't really seen any acne from it or known if acne has been caused by the foundation. So take this with a grain of salt because acne safe for someone else might not be acne safe for you, which is a bit of a bummer. But in general, it does have skincare ingredients, and specifically those ingredients are very moisturizing. And you'll see in this video that the 89% skincare is mainly just keeping your skin hydrated and moisturized. In the PR package, I was sent 5 different shades to swatch on my skin. The first is light 5, medium 1, medium 2, medium 3, and medium 4. So we are starting with a fresh, clean face. I did prep my skin with the Ilyune Concentrate Cream. I am absolutely obsessed with this right now. It was recommended by a friend, and I would highly recommend this to you if you are looking for a new moisturizer. It's so good. My skin is definitely healthier from this moisturizer. Glossier gave me a bunch of different shades in the medium category. However, the ones that work for me are medium 3 and medium 4. I'm gonna stick with medium 4 today because I am coming out of my summertime skin color shade, but medium 3 I think would work for me when I'm a little bit paler in the winter time. Pump this on the back of my hand. As you can see, it kind of pumps out like a gel moisturizer, which is really nice. On this side, I'm going to use the brush so you can see how it works with this brush. And on the other side, I'm going to use my own brush just because I personally do not like the brush and I don't even want to use it today, but I just need to show you what it looks like. So I just kind of take the brush, pat the product. Even if I pat the product, this is what it kind of like finishes out to look like. It's very glowy and very quick to apply. So let me show you how it looks when you swipe it. So the first swipe, it's perfect. Then when you go in and try to swipe a little bit more, it ends up basically dragging the product. I think it's meant to be swiped on. I could be totally wrong, so feel free to correct me. That's not how you normally apply on foundation. It makes things kind of streaky. It's not terrible, and it does give me like a lighter coverage, but what I prefer to do, if you were to get this brush and you wanted to make it work, I would go back in and actually kind of dab as if I'm using a sponge. And this way I'm getting more coverage. I'm not swiping the product away, because when you go like this, basically what it does is the product just like picks up on itself onto the brush, and it won't give you the coverage that you want. But if you want light coverage, I guess that works out anyways. I can say that it won't make your makeup look streaky per se. It just will make it look uneven, and you won't get good coverage if you swipe the brush. There we go, so much better. Seriously, a perfect match. I know something's a perfect match when it matches my forehead without making it look too pale or cool toned or ashy, and then it also matches my neck. And I find that very difficult to do with a lot of foundations. Sometimes I'll pick a foundation color and it matches my neck because it's a slightly lighter. My forehead, as you can see, it's hit by the sun and it's a little bit bronzier than the rest of my face. So what happens is when I apply on a foundation that doesn't necessarily match me, it ends up making my forehead lighter, ashier, and grayer than the rest of my face. So I really like the shade of this foundation. It looks really good on my forehead, matches my neck. Shade match, 10 out of 10. This is my skin without the Glossier Stretch Foundation, and this is my skin with the Glossier Stretch Foundation. And I don't know about you, but it kind of looks like I drink my water, I eat my vegetables, and I have healthy skin. So I do want to remind you that foundations can look good on someone else versus you for a variety of factors. So this review is based on, you know, what I already do in my daily life and routine. And one of those things is a very strict skincare routine. I am big on morning and nighttime skincare. And I feel like the reason why this foundation looks so good is, one, the product is good, but two, my skin prep is really good. So although we'll always be on the hunt for a good foundation, it's also really important to focus on what's underneath the foundation so that you have a nice base for the product to sit on. I think for me, it's really showing that I hydrate my skin and I take care of my skin. You can tell, like, I'm on my period right now, so I do have a lot of acne spots over here. I have a lot of bumps, but this is probably the best my skin has looked in a long time while on my period, because my acne is hormonal. I'm impressed. Like, this product is really good, but also like my skincare is working. Anyways, off with the tangent. I'm gonna go back in, add one more pump. So on this side, I used, I think, 2 pumps for the medium coverage that I have here. It's honestly could almost be full coverage. And then on this side, I'm gonna go in with one more pump. Again, dabbing it on the back of my hand so that I get even coverage. I'm just going to pat it on my face. This 100% feels like a moisturizer on my face. It's really nice. I feel like the texture is unique because it is that gel-like cream. So here you see I have like an acne spot right here. It's covered. Obviously, you're not gonna like hide bumps, but you can see the redness is kind of covered. I do have redness here because I itched and I have sensitive skin, but ignore this. My dark spots are covered enough for me to not want to apply on any more concealer. My redness is completely covered. So for me, the coverage is light to medium. If I applied on any more, I think that's where the foundation would go from lightweight to feeling a little bit like I'm applying too much product. Also, if you have oily skin, this is very dewy. It's not in a way that's greasy or oily, but it is dewy and it feels kind of, I don't want to say sticky because that has a negative connotation, but slightly sticky. So for me, I don't really love that, but I'm hoping after some time it's going to sink into the skin as if it was a moisturizer, because right now I'm feeling like it's a little bit too plump and wet. I just want it to set, but that might require some powder. Before I go in with the rest of my makeup, I do want to show you a close-up of what it looks like prior to applying any other product. And I have to say, just stand alone, I think it really does look very skin-like. It looks as if all I did was apply on moisturizer and didn't do any other makeup. Like my boyfriend, I think, wouldn't even notice I was wearing makeup, which I would consider that a win for Glossier for this foundation, because a lot of brands say that things are skin-like and they're not, especially if you don't find the right shade match. The only downside that I feel right now is that I 100% do need to set this because my skin feels sticky. Not in like the e.l.f. gripping primer kind of way. You know, when you apply on a serum that has a stickier, tackier finish, or a moisturizer that doesn't completely sink into your skin, that is how this foundation feels, which is a downside for me. But once I apply the powder, that won't really be a problem. Just right now, I'm just like moving my face and I can feel the stickiness. I don't really like that. I think it's because it's so hydrating. And for me, I do have oily skin, so sometimes I'm not in love with the overly hydrating feel, and I like moisturizing products that are going to sink into my skin. So keep that in mind. If you do have a drier skin, you might actually not mind this feeling, but if you're not used to something, you know, sitting on your skin, if you don't wear like heavy creams or oils, you might not be used to this. I think because I feel the stickiness, I don't know if I would consider this fully lightweight. For me, I think that because it's more moisturizing and it's a gel cream, I can't confidently say that it would feel lightweight for everybody. Because for me, it doesn't feel like a full coverage product, but I also feel it on my face and I don't really like that. From far away, truly, it is like blurring my pores and my texture on camera. In person, it doesn't enhance my texture or my pores. Like, I feel like they don't look larger than they would, but they're also not completely hidden. So there are a lot of other foundations that are leaning more matte, such as the Maybelline Matte and Poreless, such as the Estee Lauder. And for this one, it doesn't blur my skin, but it also doesn't accentuate my pores or my texture, which I really like. And I do have a pretty large acne spot here, and it seems to sit on it pretty well. But keep in mind, this doesn't have any dryness around it. I have tried this where I had dryness around acne spots, and it did cling on to that. But I feel like all foundations do that. So just keep in mind that if you have dry spots, it can cling on to those areas. I'm gonna go in with the Glossier Stretch Balm Concealer and medium 3 for my under eyes, since this is a Glossier video. I'm using my fingers because honestly, this is the one product, because it's balmy, that it actually works better with your fingers than a brush. I find when I use a brush with this, it's significantly streaky or doesn't give me enough coverage or blend well. I'm using the shade medium 3 just to add a little bit of brightness, but not be too different from my actual skin tone. I used to have this concealer and I really liked it, but truthfully, in comparison to all the other concealers I own, it's feeling like nothing special. I think that if you really dry under eyes, this would be nice, but for me, I'm not feeling like I'm getting the coverage that I want. I feel like I have to color correct with this, but it does set really beautifully under the eyes and it's not creasing, so not bad. I wish I had the Glossier powder to use, because I like to use products that go with the actual brand's products, but since I don't, I'm gonna use the Fenty Retouch filter powder because it's pretty lightweight. It doesn't give too much coverage on the skin, and I feel like it won't affect how this powder looks throughout the day. On an everyday basis, I have used this with the One Size powder, and the One Size powder is just so strong, gives you so much coverage, and is super matte. So I feel like it won't give me like a good depiction of how it is standalone, but just know I do really like it with this powder, especially if you have oily skin. This product is very glowy and moisturizing, and if you want to balance that out, the One Size powder is good. But for the sake of testing, I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty powder. It's going to take a little bit of that. It's in the shade Banana. Apply it lightly under the eyes. then my T-zone, and then I'm just gonna go in and just apply it for the rest of my face because I am an oily, shiny person. Without powder, with powder. And just like that, I feel like that blended onto the foundation really well. It didn't do any weird things when setting the foundation. I feel like my foundation color is the same, so it didn't oxidize or change in any way. I recently purchased the new Hourglass palette, and it's in the owl packaging with the shade number 3, or the snake palette. So this is what I'm going to use for my blush, bronzer, and finishing powder. First, let's get up close and personal to see what it looks like with the powder. This is way more doable for me. I feel less shinier, but I'm not super matte. And you can see the foundation kind of shining through, so you still get that natural glowy sheen to it. Wow. Wow, okay. Let's get up close and personal. This is what it's looking like. If you can't tell, I just look oily. Like, that's it. I look oily, greasy, some may say glowy. It's the 6-hour mark, and in between the 1 hour and the 2-hour mark, I did touch up with some powder. I used the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop powder, and I still remain oily. So if you have oily skin, this is not going to control your oils. You probably might hate the greasy look. For some people, it might just look hydrating, skin-like, and moisturizing. Totally up to you what you determine with that. But for me, this is really, really glowy, and I can only imagine wearing this in the sun or sweating in it. I would probably look like a grease ball. So I also wanted to mention that I took a nap with this foundation on the same day, and when I woke up, it was completely off of my face, faded, disappeared. It was as if I never applied on the foundation, which was crazy to see. I think it did wipe off on my blanket, but I couldn't really tell because it was a brown blanket. But just know it didn't last too long, and it does transfer. Finally, let's get down and dirty and give you my final freaking ratings of this foundation. In terms of claims, I actually am giving this a sad, well, not really, it's kind of in the middle, 3 out of 5. And the reason for that is because there's additional claims that they made that I didn't realize when I tried out this foundation. And I feel like some people could be disappointed seeing what it says on the website. If it had just been marketed as a gel cream foundation that's supposed to look like skin, moisturize your skin, and never cake, then I would give it a 5 out of 5. Like, this looks like skin, feels like skin, melts into my skin, doesn't cake on top, and I love that. But because it also claims to be crease resistant, transfer resistant, and sweat resistant when it's not, I'm giving it a 3 out of 5. It is also claiming to be lightweight, which if you use one layer, yes, it's lightweight, but for someone like me who has oily skin, the gel cream texture feels a little bit more weighted than most foundations. Like the Maybelline Fit Me is a very liquidy, lightweight texture that sets onto the skin where I don't feel it. It is more of a tacky texture. I can feel it on my skin in comparison to a lot of other foundations I have tried that are claiming to be lightweight. For some people, you might not have a problem, and this might be perfectly fine for you and feel 100% lightweight, but because I can't be confident to recommend this foundation for that reason to everybody, because some people might feel the same way that I do, I have to knock a point for that. In terms of the shade range, it does come with 32 shades. The shade range is actually the most important part, in my opinion, for the marketing of this product, because it's supposed to look like your skin, feel like your skin, kind of make you look like you're not wearing makeup, and in order to do that, it has to match you almost 100%. When I was looking at the shade range, as I said in the beginning of this video, I actually found it to be pretty diverse and versatile. There were a lot of different undertones. In each category, I felt like there were plenty of options, especially in the deep category. So I'm actually giving this a 5 out of 5 for shade range. And the shade medium 4 matches me nearly perfectly, which doesn't happen a lot. I usually struggle with matching my forehead or matching my neck. Sometimes I have to like compromise because I have multiple shades in my skin. So the fact that I was able to find one that aligns with both was really cool. The foundation retails for $34 on their website, and you can also get it on Sephora.com. I find that to be pretty standard for most high-end foundations. It's not a luxury brand, it's not a drugstore brand, so I'm actually gonna give this a solid 5 out of 5 for the price. And in terms of if I think it's worth the price, I would say yes. I think that if what you're looking for is something that's not going to be cakey, makes your skin look hydrating and moisturized, also giving you medium coverage, then this is probably going to be something that you won't be disappointed in. Now, if you're someone like me who has oily skin, or if you want more coverage or less coverage, if you don't like glow on your skin, then I would say stay away from this because you'd probably be disappointed in it. The longer I wear it, the more glowy and hydrating my skin looks, and I do have to touch it throughout the day. So this is not a magical foundation that is going to control your oils and keep you from being extra glowy. This is going to make you look hydrated and glowy and shine through your powder. So keep that in mind. If you haven't seen my video where I recommend the best foundations for acne-prone, textured, oily skin, then check it out in the cards up here. But in comparison to those, I feel like I need a little bit more time to see if it will knock any of those out. I don't know if my natural instinct is going to be grabbing for this one more than others. So I will update you in the future. I think I'm going to do like a compilation of foundations that I've reviewed to let you know if I feel that these are better than my ultimate favorites. Those are my final thoughts on the Glossier Stretch Fluid Foundation. Oh my gosh, I feel like this video is cursed because I already filmed this once and then today I just could not get through the video for some reason. There were so many things going wrong. So please give me a big thumbs up for just like a boost of motivation because creating content is sometimes really difficult. Anyways, let me know in the comments what products you want me to review next. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to my channel. And as always, I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye!